All right. And can you just talk to me about yesterday and the day before and what sort of led up to what happened?
I really don't know. I know 2 weeks ago he just up and quit his job for no reason. So I knew something was up with him. He was edgy. But other than that, there were no signs or symptoms. He was a recovered alcoholic. He was doing very well. For 18 months, he was clean. He was my best friend. I loved him dearly. There were no signs of it. Even up to the time I left for work, he kissed me goodbye and told me he loved me, and we were smiling and laughing and watching TV before I left for work. And I don't know what happened in that 2 hours from the time I left for work until I got the call.
What did your children tell you?
I got a message on Facebook from my son that just said, call 911, don't tell Brandon he hurt. I left work, jumped in my car, raced home as quickly as possible because I was on break and didn't see the message for a half hour later. I jumped in the car, ran home. When I came home, I literally ran up the stairs to her bedroom, and there was just a lot of blood. He had told me that she fell down the stairs. Then he changed his story and said that she attacked him, and he was defending himself. As soon as he left the room, both my children were shaking their heads. No, that's not what happened. I grabbed her and put her in some warmer clothes and took them both out to the van where she told me what really happened, and I called the police.
Is she all right? Is she doing okay now?
She has 5 stitches in her forehead. She has 2 staples in the top of her head, and she has a fracture in her left arm. We're actually going to get a cast a little later on today.
So he broke her arm and hit her with something in the head.
He hit her with a Maglite flashlight.
Did she say why he did it, or did he just snap? Or
she was asleep on her bed, and she said he came into her room. And I don't really want to go into detail of what happened or what he tried to do to her.
Okay. So obviously,
but she fought him. She fought him back, and he grabbed the flashlight, and she said he hit her 5 or 6 times in the head and arms because she was trying to defend herself.
And your son stepped in too. That's what the.
And my son heard her scream. His bedroom is downstairs. He ran up the stairs and grabbed a hold of Brandon and threw him off of her onto the floor.
Your children must be so strong right now.
They are the most amazing children. I have 3 amazing children.
And I mean, I'm sure you're still trying to process everything that's happened because it's I can't even imagine what you're going through. But did you ever think he would harm anybody in your family or you or?
He, like I said, he is a recovered alcoholic. And what got him recovered was we had an altercation back in September of 2017 on the front porch of our house, and the neighbors called the police. And that is the only altercation I ever had with the man, and I had been with him I was with him for 6 years. That was the only altercation that him and I ever had. And he went away to jail for a while, 3 months, I think. But when he came out, he did his best to prove to me that he got in a program. He turned his life around, got a job. He was doing his best to turn his life around so we could be a family again. And I never saw that side of him again. He was clean for 18 months. I never saw that side of him again. He got to the point my kids loved him. My daughter would call him Dad from time to time. I don't know why, and I keep asking myself why, and I just don't understand any of it. I really don't.
Do you think he relapsed?
he was a good man, but he had something bad inside of him that took over, and I don't know what it was. And I wish he would have reached out for help, gotten the help he needed, and it did not come to this. Because I will miss my best friend for the rest of my life.
Are you angry at him at all for trying to hurt your daughter?
I have so many emotions in me that I can't deal with. I have the anger of what he tried to do to my child. But at the same time, I know that wasn't him. The only thing I can think of, I don't know if he was on something. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what could, and now I will never know.